The other bit of functionality available in Jaspersoft in ad hoc views are crosstabs. These provide a different way of viewing the information in a query. They work similarly to pivot tables within Excel and can be used as the basis to produce charts in Jaspersoft as well. Firstly, to produce a crosstab, we have to ensure that we've selected no data, just to stop the query running every time we change a field. Speeds up the process. Then we need a measure to count against. So the way that crosstabs work is they look down each row in the database for the filters that you've applied for a certain value. Whenever that value within a field that you've selected is populated, it will count as 1. So the measure needs to be present in all records that you decide to base your crosstab on. Otherwise, they just won't be counted. We recommend, for the most part, using SMIS reference as the measure because it's automatically populated for all events and will therefore count every row in the domain as long as your filters apply to that. So we're going to find SMIS reference in our fields. But I've mentioned previously that this should be a measure, so we need to right-click on SMIS reference and use as measure. And now Jaspersoft will treat that as a numerical value. From there, we can drag and drop or double-click and it'll pop up into our columns. As you can see, this box is no longer a light blue. It's a pinky purple colour, and it's got a little icon to the left to denote that it's now a measure. Once you're happy with the field that you're counting against, I want to now look at how I want to split this crosstab out. What rows do I want to include? So, for this instance, I'm going to look at location type. Where are these slips, trips, or falls in this case? Where are they occurring? So I'm going to scroll into location type, I'm going to put it into rows. Now that I'm happy with that, I'm going to introduce some time filters. So I'm going to look for y equals 2020 and apply. Alternatively, what I could do, and if you ever want to delete a filter, you can hover across this right thing and remove, reapply, is I could do event date and change the operator. They will default to equals, but you can change this in this drop down to is not equal to, before, after, on or after, on or before, between. I'm going to say is after. And that'll change the operator and how the filter works. Here we have is after. I'm going to specify this as 2020 01 01 at 0:100 hours. And this will give me all events that happened in 2020 up to the current date. So now we're happy with that. It's quite a simple crosstab. We're just going to count every time we find a SMIS reference for a slip, trip, fall that's occurred after the 1st of January, inclusive of that day, split by location type. So now whenever you're ready, you can go no data and select full. When that query is running, and when it has run, you'll be presented with your results. As you can see here, it lists all the different location types at which something's happened in alphabetical order. Now this might not be the most useful way to present this data, so alternatively, we can right-click on SMIS reference, and we can sort descending. And this will put the location type with the highest occurrence at the top, going all the way down. As you can see here, the most common is station, followed by running line. But down the bottom here, we've got an awful lot of entries that just say other, and then there's someone specified in a free text field where that slip, trip, or fall has occurred. Now this is important information to know, but for simple overviews, we might only want, say, the top 10. In order to do that, we can right-click on this SMIS reference, do filter top n values. I've mentioned that we will want to look at the top 10, so I'll type in 10 there, and we're going to apply that filter across all row groups. We can also select this box to show aggregate of unranked values. This will present an other row at the bottom of your 10 that will include everything else. So I'll press OK. That will then run the query. You get your top 10 location types, and then below that you get the other row. If you wanted to, you could add a second layer of granularity to this data, and I could, if I wanted to input a month, for example, I could put month, let the query run again, and now within station, I can see the months over which these events occurred, based on which ones had the most. Obviously, this data will probably be affected quite heavily by COVID this year. Once you're happy with the information you've got within your crosstab, you're ready to look at it as a chart.